Hey guys, this is Jesse. I'm at YCS Houston, and I got a great fellow willing to do a domain deck profile. First ever, I'm sure. So I'm joined here with
Brandon from Detroit, Michigan area.
Nice.
So I decided to go with good old Chaos Ruler.
Chaos. Oh, you know what? You can play band cards?
Oh yeah, no, it's incredible. So the best thing about domain is you just have whatever you've felt in the connection with the cards, everything. You can just make it your own style, your own type of deck, and everything.
Right.
So my main reasoning for Chaos Ruler is just the recursion. I've used them in Synchrons, Lightsworn, just all my crazy pile decks are just going off, and just the recursion and the rebound of him when he comes back.
What do you get specifically with him as your deck master?
So he gives you dragons and all light and dark monsters.
Right.
So very, very helpful, and it's pretty just a generic consistency card and recursion.
So that's a deck master, right?
Yep, this is the deck master.
Okay.
So he's the star chief of the show.
And are you summoning him multiple times in a game?
Probably about 2 or 3, because a lot of the deck just ends up just having so much other pieces and stuff that lead to other things.
You mainly just want the first mill 5?
Yeah, just the mill 5 to get the pieces. Yeah, and a lot of times it's I'm still working more tuners in to kind of make it more consistent to get them out. But so moving on to the deck.
Yes.
It is based off of my favorite spooky child.
No way. You're playing Skull Servant in a singleton format?
Yes, sir. So I just need they're all the same. They all count as Skull Servant when they hit grave. So.
True.
So I got all of his little friends. So we got White Mare, his little servant. Got Lady in White, Pretty Ranch Mama. Got the Cook, White Baking. Got White Prince, guarding, and then we got White Lord, and the big old king himself. So all these are the lady. She's pretty good. She gives protection and stuff, but she's not she's more of a brick in the deck. Along with sadly the Skull Servant himself. You don't want to draw it because this guy right here, when he is sent to grave, he sends both of these two right to grave as well with him. So as soon as this hits grave by any effect, he goes. These two get sent from deck or hand.
You're telling me you can mill that off your deck master?
Yep. So if I hit it off the deck master, I'm going. Then the craziest one. This is more just recursion, so he can target a Skull Servant or himself, which can't target himself because there's only the one, or to put them back from banished to the graveyard. And then the other effect is they can target a Lady in White or the King in special from banished.
From banished?
Yep. And
so
just
you can
revive it. Yeah.
Recycle them.
Just recycle them back.
That's great.
So, and White Baking here is the starter of the show. So when he hits the grave, he says add 2 Skull Servant cards that have their name in the text, and then you discard any one card from hand. It doesn't have to be the 2 that are added. Gotcha. So when you go, if this gets sent to grave, you have the Prince and the Lord here. Then you just discard the Prince, get your other buddies to grave, and then the Lord, what his effect is, you contribute him off field or discard him from hand to mill equal to the number of names. So just by sending this, my Chaos Ruler happened to hit the baking, I now have discard to mill another 5.
Wow.
Just off of one guy in grave.
Okay.
And then his other effect is he has a Mizuki type ability of banishing himself from graveyard to revive any Skull Servant in grave or the King.
Wow.
So then the King, he sadly can't get as big as in Modern. So I got the 6 options, but after Alliance, I'm going to have another name and spell card and piercing and everything. Yeah,
so how does it feel knowing that support comes every once in a while for your domain deck?
I have just stacks of every copy of these cards. Everyone that they pull it, OTS, I have every single one they pull. All my friends and players and stuff are giving them to me. I'm just known as that guy.
Nice.
And then good old King. So he gains 1,000 attack per copy of Skull Servant.
Right.
And all of the effect monsters gain Skull Servant while they're in the graveyard.
Right.
Their name becomes it.
Even though it's singleton, all in the graveyard,
these all count as this.
Yeah,
and then if he would have another one of himself, he can count himself.
Gotcha.
And his other cool ability is if he's secure by battle, I can just banish the Skull Servant and he just comes back.
Nice.
And it's just another recursion aspect.
So very hard to get through.
Yeah, very big, beefy guy that just keeps bouncing back in. So that's the little Skull Servant line. And then I do have a couple other zombie guys to kind of go with it to kind of just help them out. Good old Unizombie. One of the best things to end up drawing and getting the whole engine started. You just go send the baking and you're all the way there. And then there's my tuner to get to my...
Gets all your plays started.
Chaos Roller afterwards and we're good to roll. And then just for some kind of consistency pieces and just kind of fodder. I got pretty much the whole danger line of the ones that kind of give you advantage or big guys and stuff like that. So most everyone knows these. They all have the effect of they can discard them, reveal themselves in hand. Your opponent picks a random card, they discard it, they special themselves. If they don't get hit, they all have separate effects and stuff.
And most of your stuff is graveyard related, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm going to trigger a lot of fun stuff going when that hits grave. And this, unfortunately, most people aren't going to like too much. I got these 3 little girls in here.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, most people have had a little grudge with them over time. But it's just the mill power is just so crazy with it, and just the recursion of everything, and you just go off so far with everything.
If you've never played against tier limits in Domain, you learn very quickly how insane it is.
Yeah, it's just so much recursion, just boom, 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 just a bunch of effects.
Yes.
So those guys, everyone knows what those do, so won't spend too much time on those. Then we got my good old Bestial lineup, my good old dragons. So just the more like power hitters here, and then good old Rebellion to get the spells and traps and stuff.
Do you have Brander Regained? And...
just the Regained in here. I'm not doing the Beast at the moment. I might try it later, but like with just how much I mill, it hasn't come up too much.
These are all great because they're essentially DD Crows.
Yeah, no, DD Crows, and just I can search any dragon. And it goes so crazy for sure.
It's a great engine.
Yeah, so love that little package. Then I got just one Felice. Just comes up. It's if I end up milling it off something, she revives herself.
And she's a tuner, right?
And then she's a tuner.
Yep.
And her other effect is I contribute her to targeted monster your opponent controls, and then if it goes through, I destroy the monster, and then I mill 3 by attributing her.
So mills more.
Yeah, mills more, out to issue, like
I'm noticing a
stuff.
theme.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just mill, baby. Then good old black and white collapse serpent and wyvern buster. So just the good recursion and very good mix of light and darks of just powering through and getting the other piece for more bodies and just keep on digging. Then we got the little bug.
Dude, this guy.
Eating away. Chewing those levels.
Yep. Like we said, you can play whatever you want. Nothing's banned.
Yep. Like this guy right here. Like, oh no, I need to make him a level 6 to be able to synchro. Let me just repeat this level eater a bunch of times. So this is always like one of my favorite targets to end up sending off of stuff. Like
obviously insane.
Whenever I see this guy, it's always going to be the option to send a level eater mostly. Yeah. So,
Armageddon Knight.
Good old Armageddon Knight. Then we got Fairy Tale Snow.
This card, dude.
Yep. You're milling, you got to have it. There's no way not to.
Do you have Necroface?
I do not have Necroface in here at the moment.
That'd be pretty memey.
I'm thinking about it. My boss has a secret that I'm like kind of tempted to grab and throw in here, but we'll see. Then speaking of the tier elements, we got this little guy. To be able to, got a couple options for him. So we got
everything
the Kikalos and the Garura. I'll talk about those more in a few.
Yep.
So he just brings it out, pay 1,000. And then we got kind of our bigger special summon guys. So we got Chaos Creator, so he's really good. The recursion effect of him, of just targeting 3 in your banish. You get to summon 1, you get to put 2 back, and it's just so much recursion and doing so much. Chaos Levineer, targeted outing, shuffling back cards in the hand, like very good card. And then good way to be able to find it is this little guy. So Equips Wyvern, whenever he hits the grave, you just get one of the dragons. So I got quite a few good old options in here. Hanging out. And then the other one is the Strudo. So he's just a really crazy tuner, paying half my life, putting it back on bottom, just getting cards back in the deck and helping out. So like, these are my targets for the Wyvern, and it really helps the engine move along. If I end up milling that, then we just got another extender, Chaos Valk. She just kind of similar to like the black and white dragons. Banish a lighter dark specialer.
Yep.
And then when she's banished herself, she can send another one, but you can't activate the effect. So it's good to like send the snow for the follow-up turn.
Yep.
Then if I end up milling too much, that's been a little bit of a common theme here. We got this guy.
Oh, okay, hold on. Are you playing Exodia?
No Exodia, just this. So I don't even do anything. The only thing I do is just for his inherent summon of the cost of shuffling back all monsters from grave back in the deck. And you just put him out and I just link him off. He's just in here.
It's just a reset button?
Just a reset button of...
So you don't mill yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. That's all it ends up being a little bit of a struggle for sure.
Yep.
Then moving back to the Bestials and the spell cards now. So we got the Brander Regained. It's just so much banishing and
I can
reviving
make a whole,
all the...
I can make a whole 1 hour video about that card alone.
This, even if you aren't even playing Light and Darks, this can normally almost squeeze into the deck. So it is just so much recursion.
It doesn't have to be your light dark monsters,
it's gonna be any light or dark.
Whenever any light or dark is banished, you can shuffle it, draw a card.
Crazy,
And that can happen 4 times in a rotation.
Your opponent goes to SP, I'm gonna put their SP back in
Yes.
the Archer deck, and then I draw a card off of it. And
It's
it just
so-
goes, stuff like that goes crazy. It's
And
a great
then
time.
also bringing back bodies when
Yeah,
they
the
special
body
summon.
recursion, yep. When your opponent does something once a turn too. So if, like, as long as you got your Bystials, their little Bystials in grave, you can just keep going and going.
Yeah.
So this is in here for if going second, if my opponents end up going off too. Gotta have maximum mill power.
Absolutely.
Just in case. But
Absolutely.
ends up 3/4 of the time I've seen this card, it's been turn 1, and I'm just like, well, I can just use this as discard fodder. Like, we're here. Then we got Chaos Space. So I got the few Light and Dark Dragons in there and just kind of all the recursion aspects of it. And then being able to, like, put back the Libellion. I can put back, so if I end up milling the Exodius, I can end up using the Chaos Space to recycle it back from Banished.
Yep.
And then draw a card, so I can not worry about having to really mill out and kind of
Shut yourself out.
aspect. Yeah. Then speaking of recursion, I have the good
Let's
old Pot of
go.
Everest to just put back all the targets and get some more card advantage. And then Allure, so just draw advantage, find your pieces.
Yep.
Then we got Premature Burial. Comes up of just like having a little, like, I have a lot of more smaller guys. It might end up just being like Monster Born probably down the line, but just doing this for now.
Do you have like a recursion with bouncing it back to your hand?
Not at the moment. I'm thinking about doing like a Zephyros possibly or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and just kind of like re-looping it and stuff. But
Yep.
I just had one just sitting around. I'm like, I'll just throw this in for now and
Right.
test it out. Every time I've seen it, it's been very helpful. So it's like, I'll just leave it in.
Yeah.
Then we got, this one can be a little scary sometimes.
This is an all-star.
Yeah. So like, normally I'm only going to be doing it like when they already got too much going on, and I'm going to bring back some recursion effect and stuff, because
you got to make
it's everybody, so don't want to share too much.
You got to make like a value call whenever before you activate it.
Like, don't want to do this too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good card, insane to play, and this is just so much banishing in the format and everything, especially with the deck. And then speaking of milling, I got good old Soul Charge. Just gonna have infinite targets in there all the time, so might as well just keep bringing everything back.
Yep.
And then 1-for-1, mandatory. Just all the Skull Servants are level 1 besides Lady. Go get my level eater. Like, it's just so much aspect to this card that does everything for me.
Obviously tutoring is good in advance, but it's like especially strong.
Yeah, it also just gets like a bad card in my hand, like stuff like that.
Yes,
it's very helpful. Foolish.
Yep.
Got it. Targeted milling. Got to do it.
Yep.
Then we got Graceful and Pot. Got to have that draw power.
Yep.
So great time.
Nice, nice.
And then always sending stuff off, making more things. So Last Will.
Last Will.
Powers through, gets your next piece in the puzzle, pretty much.
Yep. Don't ask me how it works, though.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So you just, as soon as something hits grave, you're just another idiot.
Yep.
And just keep on digging. So it's the beginning of the end.
Dude, you're the first person I've seen play this.
This card, if you have 7 or more cards and Dark Monsters engraved, you can banish 3 of them and draw, what is it, 5 and draw 3.
Yep. So you need just 7.
Yeah, 7, and then which I'm gonna mill at least 20, 30 cards every turn.
But draw 3.
Just draw 3 is insane. Yeah.
It's nuts.
And then good old Painful Choice. So.
Hey, can this get ashed?
Yeah, it can. It definitely can. Yeah. And it's happened.
Yeah, Painful Choice is nuts, obviously.
It's happened from the gentleman right
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And we got good old 6 cents.
Dude.
In case I end up drawing it, it's a perfect card. It's either going to mill me or it's going to draw me a bunch of cards. I'm going to call 5 and 6 every time. So it's like, all right, whatever happens, we're going.
You're plussing either way.
Yeah, either way, I'm doing one of the 2 things I'm going to want to do. Draw cards or mill cards. So,
right, but what if you mill it?
Oh, I got that covered. We got transaction rollback. I don't need life points when I'm milling cards and attacking you with big spooky boys. So you got the rollback in there. And come up a couple times, so I've already done it and resolved the effects.
Is that your only trap?
Those are the only 2 traps.
That's hilarious,
That's it.
dude.
Don't need nothing else. That's it. That's the deck right there.
All right.
Moving on to the extra.
Yep.
So we got the Kiklos. So just turned into a mill 8 of Yugioh. Yeah, it's insane. So and also this ends up helping with having the Dragospelia to end up getting a body negate, because then I can end up putting in the Kiklos back as the fusion target and one of the other tier names, and keep on recurring that aspect of it. So
you just always have that.
Helpful. And speaking, same thing with the Garua kind of aspect of putting back like the Danger Nessie or both the tier, like 2 tier monsters at the same time, to kind of make sure I get to be able to try and hopefully trigger all the effects.
You're not super polying. You're essentially just trying to recycle resources.
I just recycle, and then I'll normally just end up linking this off and doing some stuff with it, stuff like
Drawing
that.
a card.
Yeah. And I got Dawn Dragster. Doesn't come out too much. I might end up switching it out. It's more just for like the distributor and stuff, in case I get like awkward levels with my tuner and stuff.
Okay.
I need to clear up some space and like just end up putting another body out. And then we got Savage Dragon. This guy. Everyone knows this guy. So gets real big, negates whatever you're gonna feel like, however many link counters. Very good card. comes up very often. And we got Dispatter. So just the
My
recursion
baby.
of this, like bringing something back every turn, like putting something back on, like negating or popping something every turn on them. I normally going to have just like a stack of banished cards. So it's like I'm either going to have a pop or they're going to be banished and stuff. And
Oh, there's always options.
Yeah, something's always going to be going on.
Yep.
Then we got Minerva. So just more mill power. Only got the one Lightstorm name in there, but I just end up kind of needing to like clear some space with like some level 4 bodies and stuff like that on occasion. And then this beautiful guy, Zombie Vampire, just milling up. So
Yep.
great time. And then for another negate and kind of some really helpful with like the attack rate doing and everything like that. Of like, I don't want you killing this.
Right.
You're gonna come hit this guy. And then this is one of my favorite cards with the level 1 engine is Anima. So Levelator in this is just free bodies and you just dig and dig and dig.
How many people just play into that?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
No one avoids it?
No one, yeah. There's always, one of the two sides is always going to have something pointing at it. So what I end up doing is like I end up burning through the Levelator, eating off my big guys, and then I just use this and Levelator and go into this guy for some more recursion and recycling.
Oh my gosh.
Gives me another body on board, and then I end up linking him off into stuff like SP, stuff like that, getting another body on board.
And you put your...
then I use this to attach to the Savage.
He did this to me the other day.
Nice big old 4-counter Savage.
Yep.
And Starugers has already done its purpose, so you can move on. Then we got Dark, a lot of Darks in the format, and it just comes up. And definitely the best target for me to like be able to search and get items if he ends up getting destroyed. And then Curious, just the best mill boy in the horde. Just target mill, send 3, get stuff when he dies. And then this is one of my more like problem child moving cards of Underworld Goddess.
Yes.
So she comes up very, very well of just eating the field and kind of clearing out the gate, like putting a nice pause to the game for a second and let's move on. And
she's kind of like a Link Kaiju.
Yeah, just like, all right, we're going to slow down here for a sec. I'm going to eat that. And then everything else is going to take a break for a minute and just hang out. So
have you had a lot of chances to play this deck?
Yeah, oh yeah, this is the one that I play the most and just always going at it. Yep. So,
nice. You're always working on it.
Yep. Constantly changing. Yeah. I haven't made like too many tweaks lately. I've kind of gotten about where I wanted. Like as I said, like the John Dragster, a couple other things like that. I'm probably gonna do the Beast. I'm not sure. I don't want to switch out for it yet, but that'll probably fit back in there. And then like the Dragster is probably the only loose link in the extra deck that I don't really like at the moment. So, but everything else is just the Minerva maybe if I find some other cool stuff. But it just everything comes up very consistently and often for sure.
I gotta say, I must give you a lot of praise. This deck is amazing. I've played against it. I was blown away. It did the insane number of things.
Yeah.
So.
And then I built myself out and I had to scoop. But wait, I had some fun. I did a lot of things. They got to watch me do cool stuff. And
last question.
They all killed each other.
In Domain, does it bother you when you lose? No. Not at all, right?
I had a great time. I got to do a bunch of cool stuff.
Right.
Like, we're having a blast. Like, there's no...
Right.
I'm not all about hurt. Like, if it's like, you're going to take me out, like, without me doing anything, or like I don't get to do anything at all,
right?
Then I'm a little annoyed. Like you have like, you're gonna stop everything I do. I'm gonna be a little sad. But like most of the time, everyone's just gonna like let each other have some fun,
brawl,
do some things. Like, hey, I don't like what he's doing over there. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll leave you alone.
Yep.
He's more scary than you.
That's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, just share the love.
Well, again, great deck. Is there anything you want to shout out before we finish up?
Yeah, pretty much all good. It was always a great time jamming games with these guys over the weekend.
What store do you like to go to?
Eternal Games, the store I work for up in Michigan, and Sunrise
YGOs
are
YGO.
like subcontractor for the store, and we do just the Yu-Gi-Oh singles for them. So.
And if you're in the area, you could maybe play Domain there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We always have a few guys. We have like 12 or 15 guys around locally that are getting into it. I'm always trying to influence more players and get more people into this amazing community and keep it growing. So
couldn't say it better myself. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, of course.